is mix the darker brown with the dark blue to make what's called the darkest of blue. And you mix just a small portion of the brown and take a small portion of the blue and mix it together. And that's going to give us our darkest colours, which is going to actually be at the top and bottom of the canvas. With your large paintbrush, we're going to do an undercoat, and in the centre we're going to do the light blue, about a third of the way down from the top, about a third of the way from the bottom. And this is just for underneath, so that our canvas has some colour. And make sure that you go around the sides. Follow it. And you can take it up a little bit higher if you want to. It depends on how light or dark you want your stormy weather to be. I'm going to give mine a fairly good amount of light blue to come through this time. Then I'm going to just dip my paintbrush without washing it and put in the darker blue up the top. Don't worry if you've added a little bit of the dark brown to the bottom, because that's what we're going to put in on top of after we've put the blues. Don't forget to paint the bottom of your canvas. And we'll leave the top of the canvas until it's a little bit drier. For you guys, that means paint the top of the canvas and leave the bottom of the canvas dry. So once we've got the canvas covered with our whites and our blues, we then normally wait a little while for it just to get a little bit tacky, which when it's tacky, it'll just sort of lift off your canvas, but not completely come away from your canvas. Everyone ready? Okay. Now that brown and the blue that we mixed together at the start, we're going to come in at the top and at the bottom and start forming darker clouds. And we're going to go from the edge into the center, and instead of doing streaks like we've been doing, we're actually going to be dabbing. So it's going to come in like this on your canvas. So here's my dark browns, my blue brown. And bring one in to the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's streaky, because as we applied more layers, this is going to give it its character and its shapes. You might find you need to put more of the darker blue into the brown. become very muddy. Okay, so I'm just starting to form some cloud lines now. Everyone can see. Maybe at the top of the clouds. Don't forget the sides. If you feel that your paint is still a little bit too wet, which will make a very muddy mess, use a little bit of paper towel and actually dry your brush. I don't use water when I'm doing these paintings until the end when I need to actually clean my brush out. So I'll just go back in with the blue and put it straight in over the top again. Okay. Okay, so we've brought the blue brown in from the top and from the bottom. We're just going to bring a little bit more across here with the blue brown mix and some down through the bottom, just to tone and make it a little bit more even. Then we use the light blue and the dark blue, mix the two together about half and half in quantity, and bring that just into the center of the cloud to give that a little bit of definition and highlights. And continue along until you're getting the desired cloud effect. Blue, light blue and dark blue. If your brush is getting very sticky, dry it off and then go over it again. It'll take just a little bit of paint off. We're not trying to push the paint into the canvas, we're just dabbing it onto the canvas. With that little bit of darker blue brown, I'm going to make that one darker up there. And make this one darker again. Now I'm just going to bring in just a small amount of black mixed in with the blue brown, and bring it over here because I want this really dark at the top. Forming a cloud there, and it's the same at the bottom. I want it really dark at the bottom. It's my clouds. It's really quite stormy today. How's everyone going? Oh, they're looking fantastic. So again, bringing more cloud in. A bit more ruffled up here, and a little bit more black down the bottom on a fairly dark and gloomy, with a dark and gloomy day. Okay. So once we've got our clouds with the dark parts in it, where the lightning comes from normally has just a small amounts of pinks, oranges, reds. I'm going with an orange tone today, not pink. So I'm mixing a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of the red, and my lightning's going to strike from here. So put a little bit just here. I'm going to have another one come through just here. And I think I might just put a little bit of sheet lightning happening through here. Just to lighten and change the mood of the painting for today. Put a little, tiny littlest bit in there. So again, I'm using my paper towel to dry off my paintbrush. And now I'm going to come in with my thick paintbrush still, so we haven't changed paintbrushes. Bring in just the tiniest little bit of white, but I do not want my paintbrush to be full. I just want the very tip. So I put my paintbrush into the paint and then I just wipe it off onto the palette. And then I come in over the top of the orange and the red, like this, and like this, and straight through all that orange there. Nice big white line like this. Now I'm going to dry my paintbrush off again. I'm just going to do a little bit of blending now. So with canvas being wet, it's just a little bit hard to see. I'll bring that in. There we go. I'm just going to blend. So blending, I'm going to little small circle motions and blend that white with the yellow. It just forms, makes it look a little bit fluffier, like so. And again here, little circle motions. And if I lose a little bit of the pink or the orange or the white, I just go back onto the palette and smidge a little bit more in. And remember, you're going to have your whitest points at the top of your clouds, or these stripe points. And we'll blend them in. Okay, again, I'm just going to come down to the bottom of this and blend them in very slightly. And you can put these stripe points anywhere on your paintings. They don't necessarily need to be in a straight line or an angular line. Clouds are kind of coming everywhere. Bring that one back up like that. And I'm going to add more blue in with that one. I might actually bring that. That's rolling down that way. I really need to bring that through. Again, just bring it back. And once my paintbrush is too wet, dry it off and bring in some more paints. And I just continue this process until I get the desired effect of my clouds. Some clouds are streaky, some are fluffy. Right, and I'm just going to add in some more whites, again, into the centre part of those clouds. Right into that centre, like that. Really stand out. And again with some. Stand out in that centre bar. And if you've started to lose the yellow and the reds and you want to bring them in, this is the time to bring those colours back into the painting. A little bit under, it's a little bit underneath white. This is very muddy. And don't press too hard or you'll pull the paint from underneath and make it nice and muddy instead of having the colours. So we're starting to get some definition and striking colours coming through. Just going to actually put a little bit more blues into the top because I've lost my cloud lines. some more dark blue. Very hard not to get fingers. So once we've started to get this, we're happy with where our cloud lines are, add a few more streaky lines in. And I'm just going to bring in a little bit more white because I really want that to stand out. And there you can see that I've got the tops of my clouds where it's ready for the lightning to actually come out and start what they call the point of strike. Now you can play with this painting for hours now, changing the shapes of the clouds, changing the different views. I'm actually going to make the top of mine a lot darker and set it so that it looks like there's some stars coming through that nighttime sky. So to do that part of it, I'm going to go back in with my blue and my darkest of browns, so that it's a very dark colour. And I'm going to actually come in through here. So this is actually the nighttime part of the clouds. Now, just while I'm here, before I forget, I'm going to fix up all my sides so that they match when my clouds have come in and where they haven't. Down this side. Get the different colours as I come around the edge. So now we've started to form our clouds and where the strike point is of the lightning. Up here I've made it a little bit darker because I'm going to put some flicks of stars in, and down here I'm going to actually put some more depth to the clouds. It's just my canvas is just a little bit wet, and when that happens, that's normally when I go out and get my coffee. So we'll come back and continue this in 5 more minutes. I'll just cut.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back and I'm ready to now put in the lightning scene. So it's time to switch paintbrushes. Again, I'm using a dry brush until the end of my painting, and this time I'm going to only use white with a little bit of water. So I pick up a little bit of white on my palette and I mix equal amounts of water to paint. It makes it very runny, but glides onto the canvas very easy. Then with the thin brush, I just slightly wipe a little bit of the paint off the paintbrush, and now I just bring in the lightning line very gently, not too hard. Like so. This is where I do wash my brush out because I want to be able to just use white. And again, a little bit of the same mixture of the white, and I'm just going to bring in the point where it's coming out of and pick up some of the parts that I've done here, and again do the same for the other side that I decided I wanted to have 2 strikes of lightning. This one's going to come down through there. Just a little bit smaller.